Giving and sacrifice is an act of worship. You don't just worship with your song, you worship with your seed. Giving and sacrifice is an act of worship. You don't just worship with your song, you worship with your seed. Giving and sacrifice is an act of worship. You don't just worship with your song, you worship with your seed.
Welcome to the moment of truth. Please stay tuned till the end.
If your mind cannot be subject to the commandment of God, your mind cannot be led by God. How come a rebellious mind, Akuta, is saying God is leading him to do something? That is why your God always leads you to give. He doesn't lead you to do anything beyond giving, because giving is your comfort zone already. Sometimes when they say God led them to give, it's not God. As good as giving is, it's not God. Take them out of giving. Move from giving to sacrifice. Not your resources, your life, you yourself. One of the ways you sacrifice your life, apart from your resources, is your time, your strength. You give to ministry. Can you go with us to the field? You will now find out that that person was never led of God. Guess what? They will now call themselves, they are financial apostle. There is nothing like that in the Bible. Don't deceive yourself. Anybody teaching you that is after your money. There is no financial apostle in the Bible. Jesus never sent in. Do you know what an apostle is? They give you false titles to steal your money because you are a wicked person. Some of us are fire.
You see how manipulative they are, how confused they are. NHS said worship is not enough. You have to still give your seed. He was talking to his choirs. All the time they spent and their energy and everything, it wasn't enough. They must give seeds. And this one now, Gabe is telling you that your money is not enough. Your time is also needed. My people, know God for yourself. When you see confusing thing like this, you just know that God is not there. And that takes me to what Ogebe wrote on his Facebook. Stay tuned as I read it to you. Joel Ogebe, Prophet Joel Ogebe wrote, tithing into the temple has been abolished and his blessings no longer present. A prophetic wisdom to the brethren and lead, and those whose eyes will be opened to understand. That was Prophet Joel Ogebe. Let me read on. Tithes and offerings are not the true way to commit oneself to God. If one truly expects God to regard and love them. As a prophet, the Lord has clearly told me that when we give tithes and offerings, we are committing ourselves to the temple and all that it hosts, categorizing this commitment under a commitment of honor and not to love towards God. Imagine. He goes on to say, however, if you are willing to accept it, the truth is that the earthly temple has been abolished and its relevance removed, rendering it powerless to bless God's people. Jesus made two statements that verily these facts, the first in John 4:21, verse 21 to 23, and the second in Matthew 24, verse 2 to 4. The Christian worshipper is not a temple worshipper, but a spiritual worshipper whose body has become the temple of God. So, to honor God, honor the body in a godly way. And to give to God, simply give to the brethren, even the least among yourselves. Giving tithes with the external temple in view is not a Christian operation for those whose eyes have been opened to the light. Jesus says, as much as you've done it for one of the least of your brethren, you've done it to me. If we dishonor ourselves, but honor the buildings and structures where we congregate, our priesthood will be tied to the old priesthood that was abolished with the appearing of the Lord. So, which do you commit to? The new temple, that is the renewed body in Christ Jesus, or the old temple that can be thrown down and its priesthood brought to an end because it's made of it's made of stones. So honor God in your body and love one another, for it is the true way to love God. Commit to serving one another, for it is the true way to serve God. We congregate in places of gathering we call churches today for fellowship and to give us the opportunity to serve ourselves. That's the true way to worship in Christ. Can you imagine? He's a good son of Osai. Osai believes in tithing, believes in everything. He's also a good son of Ogebe, of Ogweli, David Ogweli. Ogweli said that nobody will talk him out of tithing. So how is now their grandson, the son and grandson now, preaching against tithing? And against giving? What is preaching now? He wanted our young people to be following him, to be committed to him. He wanted their times. He wanted their energy. He wanted their skills. He wanted everything. Then ask me, what did he want all these things from our younger people? Ask yourself this question. My people, know God for yourself and train your children to know God for themselves. Because these men out there, they are wolves, in sheep clothing, they all have their different ideas, different wants and needs, reason for being on the pulpit. So their needs are different. Others are crying for your money, your purse, your energy, your everything. This one is asking for the souls of men. That's what he's saying. He's asking for your commitment. He's asking for your time. He's condemning giving, but they are asking people to give in Wizcard or something like that, in a different way. That's what he's preaching. So when I saw this, my own is to expose their shenanigans, their lies, their deceptions, and all that. This is the same person that rebuked Ebedamina for condemning Adeboye for drink that said that he drank tea with God. He said it is possible. And see the way he comes now. My people, open your eyes, it's happening, Outside there, it's not friendly and it's very dangerous. And I feel for our generation and I feel for generation to come. The only way out of the wrath of Satan, he has all his agents out there, is to know God for yourself. Adeboye, Oyedepo, Oyakilome, what was it called? Kumuyi. This is what they gave birth to. This is what they reproduced, though. Their lives of 40 years or 50 years, this is what they gave birth to. Those small ones are even dangerous. I see you on my next video. Bye for now.